What up, K, and welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryce the Fourth, giving out raw reactions and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You'll hear the people and the noises, but without the people, what's the point? Embracing vibrations. First and foremost, a gigantic shout out to one of my best friends and her new husband, Syntii Chey, for tying the knot yesterday at a great Monday wedding, while also letting everyone know that they have a little one on the way, which is pretty dope. My booba accompanied me looking like $1 trillion, and we couldn't have had more fun. I'm very proud of both of them. I've been there, knowing their journey and even being a part of it, and warmed my heart seeing it. I may or may not have had allergies flare up when they had their first dance, but that's neither here nor there. Anywho, I'm here to recap Week 5. Some really great bangers of games, some really shitty-ass games. But hey, that's what the NFL is for, so it's football. If you know, you know. Let's get into it. Let's go, Birds! Only undefeated team in the league, and it feels so good. They'll find a way to do it in any different way every week, and most will hate to see that they say they love it. I knew that the threat of Kyler Murray would come to hurt the Eagles at times, and they really did. There was plays where he would literally drop back and just go. But Nick Sirianni understands that if it isn't broke, do not fix it. There's no need to try to do anything different. They had 13 screens. Jalen Hurts was 12 of 13 on those plays, and he loves throwing to his tight ends, a.k.a. Dallas Goedert. And also running 4 straight QB sneaks in a row, knowing that they cannot stop it, doesn't look too shabby either. The Eagles knew they had to clean up some blitz protection. Teams are realizing that if you blitz up the middle on Jalen, he will I'm not going to say panic, but he will get off of his schedule. But it's okay. That's things that we can absolutely fix. We got a backup kicker in. Hilarious that his name is Dicker the kicker. But hey, man, the man made his kicks. And there was times where Kyler just didn't know where he was on the field. I think that was him not, understanding that this is not the defense that is going to let you do what you normally do. And I loved it. It's cool. We ultimately killed the Cardinals with that missed field goal at the end of the game. But hey, win is a win. It is Dallas week. I'm just saying it right now. I might have to take a half day on Monday. But also, speaking of Dallas, some people don't talk about Dallas Goedert enough. They talk about tight ends, but they don't talk about Dallas Goedert. That man was balling. I think he had over 90-plus yards. Y'all better start recognizing what's going on here. I've been saying this from week 1. My last point of this is Jason Kelce is a fucking gamer. He didn't need to get back in the game, and he did because he put the team on his back. Let's go. I don't want to hear otherwise. Hall of Famer. Fly, Eagles. Fly on the road. Jags Falcons. Trevor Lawrence started the game off strong, and then he just showed his true colors because of his inexperience in this game, and he threw a wild pick in the red zone. Man, if you know, you know. This was obviously a defensive game. Looking at the score, it was 13-6. But the Jaguars had over 400 yards on offense. So if you look at the game and you go, oh, they have 400 yards. They must have had a couple touchdowns. No, I know they did not. And you can only manage to score 6 measly points. That is absolutely terrible. Like, you have to actively do that to get that. Dameon Pierce for the Texans is the highlight for the Texans. He might be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he looks like mini beast mode. My thing for this game is that I know a lot of people jumped on the Jags bandwagon after they played the Eagles last week, and no, you just don't do that. Especially as a betting person, like, you're probably like, oh yeah, the Jags about to go him. It didn't happen. I'm sorry. They do this every year. They haven't beaten the Texans the last 9 times they've played them. Straight. Horrible. There might be a coaching change coming for the Jags. It's not going to be Dougie P. But coordinators-wise, might be something happening. Seahawks, Saints. I can see why Jameis got hurt. Their O-line for the Saints is awful. Taysom Hill did ball. He had 4 total touchdowns. but they're only getting those because they're catching defenses off guard with these gimmick plays, with like the wildcat, or he gets in and you don't know if he's going to throw it. That's how that works, but it's not going to work forever. It's not going to work for a whole season. The thing with Geno Smith is crazy because I'm thinking, like, is this a system thing? Because he's making the same plays that, and yes, I know Russell Wilson is a Hall of Famer, but he's making the same plays that he made, also throwing goddamn dimes. Like, I saw him on the run, like, throw across his body. I was like, oh no, who's he throwing to? He threw it over 2 people. I was like, oh shit. Geno's trying to prove somebody wrong. Geno's trying to get a bag. I get it. But at the end of the day, this is a pretty entertaining game. Alvin Kamara came back, and for the Saints, and that's an absolute game changer. So they play call for Taysom, they play call for Kamara. That was the difference in this game. Saints win. It is what it is. Colts Broncos. I'm not going to waste your time talking about this game because it was very boring and it was a waste of my time. I watched the highlights and I was looking around like, what did you say? I didn't miss anything. As simple as that. Russell Wilson missed a wide open touchdown. Go back and look at it. Camera sitting right over here on a slant. Done. The Colts literally sucked less than the Broncos did, and they won. Ta-da! Pats Lions. I felt bad looking at the score because, as a betting man, I know a lot of people took the cheese and they were like, oh yeah, the Lions are going to score a lot of points in this game. Lions scored no points in this fucking game. They didn't say like anything. Not a single goddamn point. They were leading the league in points scored up until this point, and they went up against a Pats team with a quarterback who's never started a game, and Bailey Zappi, great name. But Bill Belichick just had their number. I don't know if it's players or coaching for the Lions, but they're just not good. They can give you some good games, but they cannot find a way at the end of the game to just pull out a win. Even playing against the Eagles, when they were, I think it was 38-15, they got to the end, it was 38-35, but they just could not pull out it. They just can't do it. So a run-heavy game for a young QB, and Belichick defense prevails, as he has been doing for decades, unfortunately. I'm curious to see if they bring Mac Jones back, if he's a little bit healthy. If they go, hey, no, we'll pull in Bailey Zappi. Again, great name. Anywho, Rams-Cowboys. Cowboys have benefited from having short fields. So they've started the game at the 20. They started their offensive drives at the 30. Cooper Rush has not had to do anything glaring. He hasn't had to come from behind or they've been down 2 scores. I'm getting this information from shout out to Shit and Sharp. But he's right though. They haven't had to come, do spectacular things, which is why people were like, is Dak Prescott going to be the guy? Is he going to be, is he going to get in before he needs to get in? Now they have a issue because, they got them birds coming up. But Matt Stafford, he struggled. Their defense is stellar. Micah Parsons on a bad groin had 9 QB pressures. I think he had 2 sacks, a forced fumble. So people need to realize this guy is actually really fucking good. They let Cooper Kupp get off on a really long run. Yo, Cooper Kupp got wheels. I mean, wheels. Wheels. Goodyear tire wheels. That was crazy. It was ridiculous. But if the Cowboys cannot learn to score more than 20 or 21 points in a game, it's going to get real interesting. They pulled this win out because their defense was just dominant. They were in Matt Stafford's face all game. He did not know what to do, and I mean that's how you win games as a team where you rely on your defense. That's how you win games, and they did it. I give them their props. Again, these picks are unbiased. Bills Steelers. When you start the game with a 90-yard touchdown, and then you go down and give up a fumble on the kickoff, that's a recipe for danger. Your day is in Alec Trebek jeopardy. The Bills offense finally showed themselves after 2 weeks of struggling a little bit. I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Bills have only punted 7 times in 4 weeks. Most teams punt 7 times in a game. They've only punted, that's how good their offense is. They've only punted 7 times in 4 weeks. It's wild, and they literally just said, "Hey, Jared, can you just go out there and throw as many times as you can up in the sky and just do what you need to do?" They were running the ball, passing the ball, and then the defense. My thing is Von Miller bet on himself to get a bag, and he's doing everything he needs to do right now. Gabe Davis with the one-handed catch that's top 5. Top 5 right now. I know we're only in week 5, but that was top 5 catch of the year. It was a tough day for Kenny. He has to learn to throw early. He feels like that he needs to make a play, but they're calling plays for you to just, you see the player 5-yard out, take what you need. Take what you need. And it only goes so far when you're not protected. The Steelers' O-line is just not really good. Josh Allen, when he's healthy, he's going to get it done when it's ugly or when it's great. It is what it is. They dominate. This was a dominant win. This was crazy. When I went back and watched the highlights, I was like, so no one's going to guard Stephon Diggs, the best wide receiver on their team? You hate to see it. Washington Titans. It turns out that Derrick Henry is still really fucking good. He didn't have a great day. I think he had 3.6 yards per carry. But if you watched it, he had really, really clutch runs on 3rd and short and 4th and short where it kept him rolling and it kept the ball away from the other team. Washington at one point were 0-9 on 3rd down, which is a recipe for losing. And literally, they have no run game. Shout out to Brian Robinson. I'm glad to see him back after getting packed up in his legs. I'm not making a joke about that, but I'm just saying. I will also say that both quarterbacks took some really bad sacks. But at the end of the day, Carson Wentz showed his arm off in that game. But he gave you the same old story. Costly turnover. Same old goddamn song. I lived that life. I get it. Niners, Panthers. Baker Mayfield is not good. I've been saying it for weeks, and I'll continue to say it. Of course, he comes out in his dumbass walking boot at the end of the goddamn game like, I'm hurt. You're not going to get this bailout, bro. You're not good. His defense and his special teams made a lot of plays for him to score. Good kick returns. They blocked the fucking kick and literally did nothing for it. Christian McCaffrey can only literally carry you. And Jimmy G, as much as they don't want to talk about it, he's a winner. This man continues to go out and make the little plays. You can say dink and dunk. That's fine. Did it win him in the game? Did he win? Yes, he did. And he's going to continue to make money because of this. San Fran and their offense and their offensive staff continue to just plug and play players who are fast or who know how to make reads where their run game is just awesome. And Debo's going to Debo, so this is ridiculous. Bears-Vikings. Kirk Cousins got out to a really ridiculous start. I think he was 13 for 13. And then when you're throwing to a top 3 receiver, and Justin Jefferson. Clearly heard people talking about him, saying that he, needed to step it up, and he decided to be great. Justin Fields, he did have his moments where he looked kind of lost, but watching their games, I feel like this is the best game I've ever seen him play. He did make some plays on his feet, which he normally does, but he had some really good passes. I seen him throw over the top. I seen him throw down the middle and seams. Let's go, all right? So, somebody said something. They got in his ear. The Bears had 16 straight points. They came back in this game, and I was watching, and I was like, all right, Bears, let's go. I think you can do it. And then Kirk Cousins was like, no, you're not doing it. They had a chance to go up. That fumble where the dude ripped he ripped the ball out of his hands. I have no clue what the Bears' plan is right now. They have a young QB that they're putting in the fire, and they're not helping him at all. The Vikings love playing these dumb, weird games where they're just down or they're up and then they lose, or they're losing and then they come back. That's not a formula for winning, but they won the game. Couldn't tell you how it works, but it obviously worked. Bengals Ravens. It was a classic AFC matchup. This was a game where I finally got to see the Ravens defense actually show up during the entirety of the game. Burrow looked under fire all game. And my biggest takeaway in this game is that you can say this about Lamar Jackson a lot, but when you need him to run, he's going to get you them yards no matter what. He will get it done, Bars. It wasn't a pretty game, and it wasn't a typical AFC matchup, but against these two teams, this was a game where you didn't know who was going to pull it out. It was going to be one or the other. Okay, that makes no sense. It was going to be somebody making a mistake, and when the Ravens had a chance, they capitalized. Again, wasn't a game where you could talk about it a lot. It was just a back and forth. Hey, I'm not going to let you down on my side of the field. I'm not going to let you down on my side of the field. And they got it done. Buck Falcons, I don't really have a lot to say analytically about this game. I mean, it is what it is. But that call for roughing the passer was absolutely on the ground horse shit. How are you supposed to tackle the quarterback? You're running to your left, and he's running to his left. You grab him, and then you throw him down on the ground. If you let him go, he's going to get up. So I'm going to make sure I secure the way. He's not going to get up. I get it, it's Tom Brady. But this is not the first time that this has happened. This is bullshit. The Buccaneers definitely played a good game. And the defense played well. I don't even want to talk about whatever else happened, honestly. That was awful. You stripped the Falcons a chance after they were down 21-0. They came back. It was 21-15. And if they get that call, they get a chance to go on offense and go up and then make Tom Brady try to beat Tom Brady. But no. The referee was like, nope. Roughing the passer. Fuck off. I don't want to hear it. Jets Dolphins. Shout out to Alex. They kicked their asses. Sauce Gardner had his first pick as a professional. He's a dog. Breece Hall. And I drafted him. People were like, why did you do that? I'm sorry. He had 198 yards total. And the first player for the Jets to have first receiver to have 100 yards receiving as a running back since LT, my favorite running back ever. Daniel Jones, I'm sorry, wrong game. Quinnen, if you went back and watched the highlights, Quinnen Williams stiff-armed the shit out of Tyreek Hill. And that told you that's everything you needed to know. The Dolphins were in the game, so if you watched it like tale of two halves, they were up. And then for a while, they were looking to win this game, but after they missed that field goal, it was a wrap. They pounced on them. And Zach Wilson got his job back. And honestly think that the Jets are ready to compete in this division. Especially with Zach Wilson just being healthy. Look out. Packers, Giants. The Giants are such a scrappy team. And I talk about it all the time. Like, I in our division, I really don't, like, I don't have any quarrels with the Giants. That, you know, they've had success. They're a really scrappy team. They don't really have a plan on offense. And it's still just another running with anybody. Daniel Jones or whoever the fuck is back there. Saquon is fucking back. That man is hitting home runs like Babe Ruth out here. If you see him running in the open field, you're going to get beat. It is what it is. It's clear that Aaron Rodgers is just targeting the players that he knows, and he doesn't trust people that he hasn't played against or played with, and that's bad. He needs, and it sucks to say because he's a veteran, but he's been playing for so long with the same people that he just doesn't trust his receivers. And it's clear he just targets Tanyan, he just targets Randall Cobb and Lazard and other receivers. Like, hey man, I'm open. You can throw it to me. It's okay. I think the glaring thing in this game is it's 3rd and 2 in the red zone. You have Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon. Why would you not run the ball? Their coach is going to have to answer to someone. And Aaron Jones came out and said it. He's a veteran. He was allowed to say it. I think we could have got 2 yards. Yeah. You definitely could have. Hate to see it. So, coaching lost this game. You hate to see it. Chiefs, Raiders. The Raiders really have no fucking clue how to just get out in 2 halves. They allowed a 17-0 comeback, albeit to being against Patrick Mahomes. I get it. But if you're a solid team, you find a way to win. Josh Jacobs came out fucking firing, running over people. That one run he had running up the middle, he was like, I don't give a shit. I'm running right into you. And the Chiefs were kicking themselves in the ass because they don't have a solid kicker right now. Like, they missed the kick. What's up, my boy? They just slowly fell apart, and Mahomes is definitely adapting to the fact that he doesn't have that deep threat in Tyreek Hill. Just dink and duck. But I think what he's really doing well is knowing that, hey, if they're not going to give it to me, I'm just going to run. Jalen Hurts. They're realizing that if Tyreek Hill can just get a little bit of time, he can find that guy at 7 yards. He can find that guy at 5 on the out and let him, make a play. But again, the Raiders, man, this was their game to win, and they let them get back in the game. But you hate to see it. The glaring thing in this game is, why the fuck would you not take the PAT for the Raiders and then be like, hey, we might be able to go into overtime, or they might turn over the game. It doesn't matter. You're so worried because you're down. Just take the PAT and get on with your life. If I was a Raiders fan, I would be fucking pissed. That was football. Liverpool let me down on Sunday. I thought they had a chance, and it sucks seeing Arsenal being actually good. I won't make any excuses for Liverpool. They just got to figure it out not to be so loose on defense. They get countered so much. It's so weird. We need a midfield player that will stop that from happening. I hope they figure it out. We won't have Jurgen for much longer, and I'm very worried that we won't get a manager that will figure that out. I hope we figure it out before that. But as always, up the Reds. Phil's playoff baseball. Superstitious me. So I went to an oyster festival with my booba, Nicole. And when we got to the hotel, we were down 2-0. And I was like, yo, bases loaded, do not move. And then we rattled off 6. And it was awesome. I had a great time. Shout out to Deanna for inviting us. It was really, really fun. I had a bomb time with my love. And I was on call for Eagles chants all fucking weekend. We walked in. It was like a big-ass tailgate. They saw me with my Eagles shit on. I had my hat on with my yada, yada, yada. But no, it was fun. And, I had a really good time. And all I would have to say is make time for people that you love because you never know. Big ups to the first date. Stay focused and be great. Woo! Take a sip. Woo! Much love from the kid. Enjoy your day. Enjoy life. Stay chill. Halloween's on its way.